Good morning, dear students. Myself is Sumit. Today we'll be doing the first chapter, which is the living world. In today's lecture, we'll be talking about the diversity in the living world and also about the biological nomenclature or scientific nomenclature. In the last lecture, we talk about the characteristics of living, which include all the organisms grow in mass and in number. All living organisms have the ability to reproduce, to produce similar organisms. All individuals do the process of metabolism, in which catabolism and anabolism takes place, which is the sum total of all the chemical reactions. Next one is the cellular organization of the body. It means each living organism is made up of one or many cells. And the last one is consciousness, which is basically the awareness of their surroundings and also the ability to sense and respond against the stimulus. In today's lecture, we will be focused on the diversity in the living world. The first concept of today's lecture is biodiversity, and as it indicated by its own name, bio and diversity. Bio means living, so the meaning of biodiversity is living diversity. If you are just thinking of a particular place, let us suppose these are three different places. Okay, in this place there are some individuals. I am presenting here by the English alphabets A, 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 B, B. In this one, A is there, B is there, and C is there. Some new species are also there. And in this, there is A, B, C, and D is there. Let us suppose A is some birds and B is suppose some plant. C is suppose some animals and D is suppose some bacteria. So now, if you saw, if these three different areas, in this area there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6A and 2B. It means the total number of individual is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 और 1, 8. The total number of individuals is 8, in which the 6 are one kind of a bird and 2 are same type of plant. Now, in the area B, this area, there are 2A, 1B, and 2C. The total number of individuals is 5. And when we go through the third area, there is a single A, single B, single C, and single D. The total number of individual is 4. So in these three areas, if we are talking about the biodiversity of these three areas, of course, the maximum biodiversity is in this area. This has the maximum biodiversity. Why? Because biodiversity represents the total sum of living organisms in a particular area. If we are talking about the Earth biodiversity, it means the total number of living organisms, which include all the plants, all the animals, and all the microorganisms present on Earth. So, again, look at these three areas. This area have maximum number of individuals. The total number of individuals is 8. But there are only two types of species, A and B. So, in biodiversity, it is not much biodiverse. इससे ज़्यादा बायोडाइवर्सिटी आपको एरिया बी में मिलेगी, क्योंकि इसमें 3 टाइप की स्पीसीज हैं और इसमें 2 ही टाइप की स्पीसीज हैं. और मैक्सिमम बायोडाइवर्सिटी आपको एरिया सी में मिलेगी, क्योंकि इसमें 4 टाइप की स्पीसीज हैं. तो बायोडाइवर्सिटी कैसे ज़्यादा होगी? जब डिफरेंट टाइप की स्पीसीज ज़्यादा होंगी. हाँ, इसमें क्या ज़्यादा है फिर? इसमें ए स्पीसीज मैक्सिमम है. सो दिस इज नोन एज स्पीसीज रिचनेस. सो स्पीसीज रिचनेस के मामले में द एरिया इज हैव द मैक्सिमम स्पीसीज रिचनेस, एरिया बी एंड एरिया सी. एरिया सी हैव द मिनिमम स्पीसीज रिचनेस and area B have the moderate species richness. But if we are talking about the biodiversity, area A have the minimum biodiversity while the area C have the maximum biodiversity, while the area B have the moderate biodiversity. Because biodiversity of a particular area is the total number of living organisms, including plants, animals, humans, and bacteria of that particular area. So what biodiversity is all about? The biodiversity is usually the number and types of organisms present on Earth. This is the Earth biodiversity. According to an estimate, 1.7 to 1.8 million, 1 million equal to 20 lakh, 10 lakh, so 1.7 to 1.8 million known species are present on Earth. But this number is keep on increasing at a very high rate, because all the living species on Earth are not discovered yet. The second topic is nomenclature. As we know that we know all the plants, all the animals of our area by a common local name, and the local name changes from area to area. So there is a need for a specific name which is used all over the world, and this one is a single name. So nomenclature is usually a particular organism is known by the same name all over the world. Let us suppose if I am talking about Mangifera indica, which is the scientific name of mango, The scientific name Mangifera indica is used all over the world in all the continents and all the countries. But if I am saying so it is not so in all the areas. In India it is called but in America it is not called So there is a need for a specific name, and this procedure of naming is called nomenclature. Next one is identification. Identification means when the organism is described correctly and the name is attached to it. There is some rules of nomenclature, and each scientific name is written and carry some very important characters of the individuals, or the name of the place from where it was described, or it was first used. Means whenever we are talking about a scientific name, let us suppose we are talking about a fish, which the scientific name of the fish is Gara almuriana. So almuriana, the name almuriana denotes that this fish first described in Almora. सो या तो ये किसी एक स्पेसिफिक नेम जहाँ ये डिस्क्राइब हुआ उसकी बात करेगा साइंटिफिक नेम, या उसकी कोई एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट बेसिक प्रॉपर्टी को इंडिकेट करेगा. तो इसके लिए आइडेंटिफिकेशन इज वेरी वेरी नेसेसरी. देयर आर सम ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस which are which include the ICBN, ICZN, and one more is also ICBN. ICBN is the International Codes for Botanical Name and Nomenclature, which is uh, for the naming of plants name. ICZN, International Codes for Zoological Nomenclature for animal name. Some other ICBN is also there. ICBN, International Code for Bacterial Nomenclature is also there. इन ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस का काम क्या है? द प्रोसीजर टू असाइन अ साइंटिफिक नेम एक्सेप्टेबल टू बायोलॉजिस्ट ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड. देयर आर सम नॉर्म्स, सम रूल्स. कुछ रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस हैं जिन रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस के बेसिस पे ही साइंटिफिक नेमिंग जो है वो रखी जाती है. सम ऑफ द रूल्स इंक्लूड the biological names are in Latin and written in italics, etc. Now we are talking about the scientific or biological nomenclature, and the most popular approach for scientific nomenclature is the binomial nomenclature. In Hindi it is known as Dvinam Paddhati, binomial nomenclature. As it indicated by its name, binomial, it means the scientific name is made up of two words, and this one is given by Carolus Linnaeus, which is known as the father of taxonomy. अराउंड 70% जो नाम रखे गए हैं वो बॉटनिकल नेम या जियोलॉजिकल नेम इज बाय कैरोलस लीनियस. तो कैरोलस लीनियस ने जो नॉमेनक्लेचर की स्कीम बताई उसे हम बोलते हैं बाइनोमियल नॉमेनक्लेचर. बाइनोमियल, टू नेम, this is the two name nomenclature. It means each scientific name, which is either zoological, botanical, or bacterial name, has two components. The first one is the name of the genre, generic name, and the second one is the specific name. The second point, the second rules of biological nomenclature. These are some of the rules of binomial nomenclature or scientific nomenclature. The second point is the generic name is always followed by a specific name. It means the generic name always written first and which is always followed by the specific name. The biological names are always written in Latin language because Latin is a dead language right now. So इस लैंग्वेज में आगे कोई फर्दर चेंज नहीं हो सकता. If it is written in English, so English is a living language and इसमें कई सारे चेंज आ सकते हैं लेकिन लैटिन लैंग्वेज में अब कोई चेंज नहीं आएंगे. बायोलॉजिकल नेम्स आर रिटन इन इटैलिक्स व्हेन प्रिंटेड. जब भी आप इसको प्रिंट करते हैं या कंप्यूटराइज करते हैं, सो द बायोलॉजिकल नेम, साइंटिफिक नेम हमेशा इटैलिक्स में तिरछे लिखे जाते हैं ताकि पता लगे कि ये डिफरेंट है, लैटिन लैंग्वेज को बिलोंग करते हैं. बट both the words generic name and specific name or scientific name when handwritten are separately underlined. जब भी आप हैंड रिटन करेंगे तो अलग अलग इनको, ये दिस वन इज द जेनरा, मेंजीफेरा इज द जेनरा एंड इंडिका इज द स्पीसीज. So both the names are, when handwritten, are separately underlined. The first word of generic name starts with a capital letter, like in this Mangifera indica, scientific name of mango. The M is capital, while in the species name indica the I is small. So the first word of the generic name starts with a capital letter, while the specific name starts with a small letter. Okay, so whenever we are writing a scientific name, we have to follow the rule that the first name is always generic and the second name is specific name. The first letter or the first word of generic name is always in capital letter, while the first letter of a specific name is always in a small letter. And whenever we write these scientific name, we have to underline the generic name and specific name separately. So these are some of the rules of scientific or biological nomenclature, and the science of classification, identification, naming, etc. is known as taxonomy. So this all included under taxonomy. Thank you so much.